Hello, today I want to talk about personal finance lessons that I have learned from Bill Gates. And no, don't get any ideas. Bill Gates are not close friends and he hasn't sat down next to me to show me the ropes of the business. I have gotten this personal finance lesson just by following his life and see what he's doing and how he's managing his own corporate business life and his own personal life. So, who is Bill Gates? I'm sure Bill Gates is one of those billionaires that have the most brand name recognition. He's up there with Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos. He created this software called Microsoft that if you have a PC computer is the software that you are most likely using. So he dropped out of college when he was 19 years old to start this company, and he was already a great programmer, and this is how he managed to put together a company to sell his software to the biggest company at that time, which was IBM. So he has, from my perspective, he has lived three distinct lives. The first life, when he was this technology genius, he created all this software and all the intricacy to connect computers with the internet, with all these other auxiliary things that made that company so huge. The second aspect of his life is when he became a capitalist, ruthless capitalist, trying to, with his tentacles and his powers, trying to just have so much control of the technology sector. And Microsoft have been for many years one of the biggest companies in the whole world. And then the third stage of his life, he finally, after so many decades, he finally retired from Microsoft. And then the third stage of his life is when he went to become a global philanthropist. So he decided to devote part of his life, of most of his life, to helping the poor, fighting against malaria in Africa, fighting for girls' rights, and fighting for so many things. So I think he's one of the most admired billionaires out there. So the three lessons that I learned from him are these ones. First of all, you don't need to graduate from college in order to be a successful business person. That means that, well, he dropped out of college in his sophomore year when he was 19 years old. He had an idea, an entrepreneurial idea, and he couldn't wait 2 more years in order to put his ideas to practice. He saw the opportunity right there and there. He had that entrepreneurial spirit and he just went up for it. And then he was successful. So many people think, oh, I need a college degree in order to start a business. No, you don't. You just need to have that idea and that inspiration, that self-confidence, which is so rare, that your idea, if you put it into practice, is going to take off. And as entrepreneurs, many times those ideas fail, but if we have that spirit, that fighting spirit, then there is a big chance that it's going to succeed. Then the second lesson that I learned from Bill Gates is to have an emergency fund. Okay, so one of his philosophy was to save like a pessimist and invest like an optimist. Okay, so when he was running his business at the beginning of Microsoft, he was determined to have at least 1 whole year of cash reserve in case he couldn't get any revenue at all for Microsoft. He will be able to meet payroll. So this is a lesson that we all can learn. It's nice and wise to have some kind of cash reserve in order to help us in the times of our lives that are difficult. Recently, we just survived the COVID-19 pandemic, and there was a moment in which many people lost their jobs, okay? And those who didn't have cash reserve, then those people suffer, and those who had cash reserve, those people, well, they saw it as another bump in the road, and then they survive. So no matter where you are in life, always have a little bit of cash ready to help you out, to help you go through the rough spots in life. And then the third lesson that I learned from Bill Gates is to invest with a long time horizon. When Bill Gates was running Microsoft, he made decisions not to benefit him in the next quarter or the next year, but he was having a time frame of years and decades to come. And well, we can see that even after he left Microsoft, Microsoft is still one of the, I think right now is the biggest company in the world, but if it's not the biggest, it's second or at worst third, okay? So how can we use that lesson in our own personal life? Well, when I make an investment, I always try to think, okay, if I do this investment, is this investment going to be higher than it is today 10 years from now? Okay, and the answer, well, when I make the investment is because the answer is yes. Okay, and for me that is not a difficult question to ask, because I generally buy index funds. Particularly I buy the S&P 500. Okay, so at any time that I have a little bit of extra money, let's say I have an additional $1,000, okay, so, and I want to put it to work, then I ask this question: if I put this money to work now, is it going to be at a higher level 10 years from now? Okay, when I invest in the S&P 500, the answer is generally yes. Okay, so we should look at investment with that time frame. It's not going to be, oh, is it going to be higher this next quarter? Is it going to go up to tomorrow? You know, or yeah. So just if you think of all your investment in this time frame, many people say, oh, the market is at all-time heights right now, you know, it's too risky to put money to work. Yes, okay, that may be the case, but if it's at all-time heights right now, is it possible that 10 years from now is it going to be even higher? So just keep in mind. In conclusion, there are many things that we can learn from Bill Gates. We can see that if you have an entrepreneurial spirit, you don't have to go to the formal education mainframe to go and start a business. If you have some kind of when you look at investments, it's nice to have that emergency fund to protect you against downturns that will inevitably happen, and of course look at everything with a long-term horizon. Thank you so much for watching, and until soon. Peace.